All right, so we just finished doing the blow dry, skill number 2. Now we're going to skill number 3. It is called curling techniques, Marcel curling techniques. You'll perform 3 barrels on the top and 3 spirals on the side. So what do we have in the bag? We have our Marcel iron wrapped up. It should be 3/4. I have some roller clips because you'll need that to clip your thermal barrel curls. And I also have my carbon comb, the tail comb. So it's important that your bags are all labeled correctly and that it says clean tools. So again, your examiner came by, touched the hair, looked at it, scored you, and now indicated to you to set up, disinfect and set up for thermal curling techniques. You have 15 minutes to do this skill, right? So once the clock starts, you will begin. Make sure that you have this towel because you'll need to wrap it at the very end because it is hot and you want to put it somewhere that it doesn't burn anything. So the size of your Marcel, they'll come around and look to see, one, if you have a Marcel or a spring. You don't have a spring. This is a Marcel, right? So let's start here. You'll comb the hair back and you'll subdivide the hair and size your partings. I'm going to bring the camera so you can see a little closer. Sizing is very important. Today we were sizing our roller placement, right, for showing 3 volumes. So if you were my student in intro and this class, I always tell you to kind of reduce your width across 1/4 and 1/4, all right? And this way it gives you better hair control. So please try not to oversize your width across. You're going to get in trouble with a curling iron. So I'm going to take my part and just comb the hair nicely. Make sure you transfer the comb to your non-dominant hand and make sure that it is on. And what you're going to do is bring the hair up a few inches from the scalp, and what you're going to do is rotate the iron and try to hold the strand like this, and then what you're going to do is click it and try to stay in the center because sometimes the hair slides off to the edge, and what you're going to do is test that hair to see if it's getting nice and warm. Use your fingers to test it. And then what you're going to do is slowly feed, rotate, and when you get enough space to make a rotation, you're going to turn the Marcel iron. Make sure that you're feeding all the ends in there so you don't have frizzies because they're going to look at the quality of your curl, okay? And just be aware of the temperature control in your iron. So get all your ends in there. When you get closer to the scalp, you must show safety. You must perform 3 barrel curls and the 3rd one, so what you're going to do with the teeth, you're going to just insert the teeth right in there, right, to show safety, right? When you're curling, you want to make sure you don't burn your client's scalp. So you have to demonstrate all the safety steps just as if you were working on a real person. So I'm feeling this and I'm just letting it stay just a wee bit and then click it. Click that. You can at this point put your Marcel iron on your cloth, on your tabletop, and what you're going to do is pin it, okay? So you're going to do the next one, and don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. If the curl is not coming out, okay, just breathe, okay? They know that you're a little nervous, and do the best that you can. Do what your teacher trained you in beauty school. So comb the hair, pull it nice and taut, hold it with your 2 fingers, transfer the comb. Please do not do this. Not that. We want to just go here, go away from the scalp about 2.5 inches, take the strand and turn the curling iron, rotate it. And then you're going to click. Now, I'm not close to the scalp, so I don't have to worry about putting the comb on the scalp so far. So click that, click, open, and rotate. You may use like your other hand to kind of help you rotate. They're not going to penalize you. And then now, I'm going to insert my comb, the teeth, put it right through, it goes right through, and lay that here. And if you have to clip those ends just a little bit, sometimes we see a lot of frizzy ends because students do not clip them in all the way. If you drop your comb and you don't have another one, you're in trouble. Then you gotta like improvise, and then you're not gonna have the comb to put in there to show safety. So it's always a good idea to have extras, okay? Because that day it is a little bit nervous, okay? So there's number 2 curl. And then number 3, you would raise your hand, and then they would come and look at it. So let me take another one. Hold it straight up at 90 when you curl, okay? Straight up at 90 so you can have a little volume. So there it is. Okay, the strand is there. So today, you're going to do these curls on the top and practice the technique. Okay, we're not doing a crokinole technique. We're not going from the ends to the scalp. We are going away from the scalp, probably about 2.5 inches, and then we are rotating that strand and clicking it in. It's like a loopy curl. Get those ends right in there, and then once you're in there, test the hair to see if it's getting nice and warm. And then you're just going to pin that. So we only pin the thermal barrel curls. So now we're on the side. So you must do one of each. This is really important because it looks really easy, but this is where sometimes students lose points. When you do your spirals, we are not doing vertical spirals like this. That's way too long. We are doing squares. So what you want to do is subdivide the hair. It's about 1 inch. 1 inch. It's from your free edge of your thumb to the second knuckle. So here it is. Okay? That's about the amount. And what you want to do is divide that into nice squares. Take the strand. Right? Transfer that comb. Get your iron. Hold it at 90. Take that, and you're going to turn that quickly. Do not come too far away from the scalp. That's thermal barrel. This you want to like immediately turn the curling iron. Then at this point, keep turning it. And you know the ends of it, the strand, try to control that. Try to get that right in there because that's the toughest and the most resistant to curl are the ends because they're like drier and they're just more resistant. And then what you want to do is take your comb. The tail is facing the ceiling and the teeth faces the floor. Insert the teeth right in there, just like that. And then release that. And you should have a beautiful little spiral curl just like that. Let's do one more. So you do a total of 3. It's a square, 1 inch by 1 inch. Take it, lift it up. And you know what you do? Bring the hair together like this so you have more control. Transfer that comb. And please do not do this. That's wrong. You want to go right there and you want to turn that Marcel iron immediately. Okay, feel it with your thumb. It's getting nice and hot. And make sure you clip those ends nicely in there. I'm feeling it. I don't have my Marcel on the scalp. I'm away from there. I want to make sure I get all those ends in there. Hold it. Take your comb, right? And insert it nicely. Test it. Insert one more time. And there you go. And then you would do the third one. And this is probably the one that they're going to score you on, okay? So you just raise your hand. Test it again with your finger. Using the back of the comb doesn't really get in there and protect the scalp. The comb, the teeth slides inside when you insert it. The back of the comb is not as effective. So they're really watching for safety, and they're watching how you control the iron, and they're looking to see how finished your curls are in a spiral. And they'll go there, and sometimes they'll even check to see if if the ends are nice and finished here. Okay, so this wraps up curling techniques, thermal barrel, 3 on top, and the spirals will be on the side that you blow dried, 3. And it takes 15 minutes. Okay,